This week is another busy week for Xbox and Xbox Game Pass releases, and we are seeing a total of 14 games coming our way. From a massive AAA IP coming to Xbox Game Pass, along with some highly anticipated indie titles. You will want to stick around and check these out. My name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into the games coming your way, and if they're worth your time and money. First up and coming to us on the 15th of April is a post-apocalyptic turn-based strategy game called Chains of Freedom. It looks to bring that XCOM-style tactical combat to a very dark fantasy dystopia set in Eastern Europe. While its battles most closely resemble the tight, close-quarters encounter design of XCOM, Chains of Freedom also adopts the real-time exploration seen in other turn-based strategy games such as Wasteland 3. Once things kick off, however, that shift to turn-based gives you full control to carefully plan out every single move and also compare the statistics and odds of every possible action. While its tale of deep-rooted conspiracies and betrayal promises plenty of intrigue, it's the combat that has really caught my eye. The Chains of Freedom release date is the 15th of April, so we don't have to wait much longer for this brand new strategy game. The biggest and most anticipated game coming back to Xbox Game Pass this week is of course Grand Theft Auto 5. This will be the third time available on Xbox Game Pass for console users, but will actually be the first time it's available on PC Game Pass. If you're interested in exploring Los Santos or just diving into the expansive multiplayer yet again, then get ready for the 15th of April, as that's when it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. If you're somehow one of the 4 people left on Earth who haven't actually played this game yet, then now's the time to do so, especially with GTA 6 coming later this year. This will be available on the following Xbox Game Pass tiers, that being Ultimate, Standard and PC, and will be the enhanced version of this game. Are you diving back into GTA 5, or are you going to wait for GTA 6 later this year? Let me know down below. Up next, we have a game that has been on Steam since late last year, but is coming to the Xbox Series X and S consoles for the very first time. Finding Frankie invites you into a true experience of terror as you compete in a terrifyingly twisted parkour show. You will have to stealthily navigate around horrifying creatures and swing through challenging parkour courses. You essentially will be doing this as you're competing for your life against 2 other contestants, in which can only be described as Ninja Warrior if it was set in the Disneyland of your nightmares. It arrives this week, and I know many of you are excited as it's had many positive reviews over on Steam since its release, with many actually comparing it to Five Nights at Freddy's meets Fall Guys. If you're wanting some PvPvE survival action, then you need to check out Hunt Showdown 1896, as it's finally coming to PC Game Pass on the 15th of April. Yes, that game is already available for console and cloud users, but I know that many PC players have been waiting for it to hit the service. If you're unfamiliar, this version of Hunt Showdown takes players back to the late 19th century, where bayous are even more dangerous, filled with supernatural creatures and ruthless hunters. You and your team must track down horrific monsters, eliminate them and escape the bounty, all whilst fending off other players who are looking to do the same. The game's ever-changing world also means that no 2 hunts are ever the same, and there's a reason why this game is still a massive hit, especially within that extraction shooter genre. If you're in the mood for some kart racing action in a similar vein to Mario Kart and many others, then you can look forward to Hot Rod Mayhem on the very same day. As with any kart racing game, you will compete against other drivers in high-speed races across some wild tracks. The developers have stated that there are 2 exciting modes to choose from within this game, that being racing and campaign for you to dive into. In campaign mode, you'll be needing to conquer 10 unique championships to claim the title of World Champion, and each of these championships are actually unlocked by completing challenging trials with varied objectives. I have seen a couple of reviews online about this game already, and they have mentioned that it's a fairly run-of-the-mill kart racer, but it does an okay job and does bring some fun to the table. For the low price tag, it might be worth checking out, especially if you want a co-op kart racer to dive into with family or friends. Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 2 was delayed a little while ago, but this second tape is now releasing on the 15th of April. The first tape was very well received, with many loving the story as you come to expect from Don't Nod, who are the team behind Life is Strange. If you're unaware of this game though, essentially Lost Records Bloom and Rage is a single-player narrative adventure game set over 2 timelines, and it follows 4 high school girls who form lasting friendships over the summer, only to face a mysterious event that will change them forever. The main draw to these games though really is that world and overarching narrative, as there's little to no combat available in these sort of experiences. It's essentially like an interactive movie, but these sorts of games do garner quite an audience. Did you play Tape 1 and are you looking forward to Tape 2? I'd be curious to hear if any of you have dove into this game yet, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Now, Monument Valley 1 and 2 were announced to be coming to Xbox consoles during the Nintendo Direct a couple of weeks ago, and we are already seeing both of them released this week. If you're not aware of what these games entail, then let me give you a very brief rundown. In essence, you will guide a character called Noor through breathtaking, impossible landscapes, manipulating different structures, and shifting perspectives to uncover hidden paths and solve some intricate puzzles. The games have always seen incredibly high praise simply due to the fact that the puzzles are really well thought out. The story behind each is very in-depth and very memorable, and the art style is very simplistic but incredibly beautiful. Honestly, I can't wait to try out these awesome looking puzzle games as they finally have been freed from the shackles of Netflix games. Moving Houses is up next on the 16th of April, and it's a silly little physics-based game about moving on, or is it? Of course, you can go about packing in any way that you desire, if that's being super neat or a chaotic goblin. One thing I will say though is that upon doing some research for this video, definitely be wary as the small house you're packing is hiding all sorts of secrets. It does go from silly and relaxing to a more psychological thriller, but I won't spoil it anymore in case you want to dive into this one. The game has had rave reviews over on PC since its launch later last year, and was only made by a solo developer. Unfortunately, the game's runtime is a little over 3 hours, but I can tell you now that this game will leave a long-lasting imprint in your mind. If you're interested, it again comes out on the 16th of April for all Xbox consoles for just under £12. Now, I love Power Wash Simulator. Ever since I bought an Xbox Series X, I started playing on Xbox Game Pass, and it's something that I find myself returning to whenever I need my brain to just shut down for a bit. Well, this week we have a very different and darker take on this genre with Crime Scene Cleaner. In this one, you will of course grab your trusty mop and sponge and go out on a cleaning spree. You will find also that when the mess becomes a bit too much, you can also whip out the power washer and clean the outside spaces very deeply. Instead of the lovely dirt cleaning of play parks from Power Simulator, you'll instead be wiping down blood, disposing of different items, and making sure you can gain enough money to pay for your daughter's hospital bills. I know this one has been very highly anticipated for quite a while now, and I keep seeing comments asking the devs for an Xbox release. It's not long now until we get our hands on this one when it comes out later this week. A few days ago, developer Ubik Studios announced that their hand-drawn 2D point-and-click adventure title known as Leila is now available on PC with an Xbox version launching on the 17th. Now is the week of this release, and I absolutely adore the unique aesthetic of this little unknown indie gem. In this game though, you'll be entering the world of an everyday woman as you explore her past, and it's all done via point and click. The hand-drawn animations bring her memories to life, and thought-provoking puzzles lay bare the reasons behind her choices. You will get to immerse yourself in a story unfolding as you decipher its intricate pieces. The game will be priced at $12 with a 2-week 10% launch discount, so it's well worth purchasing it, especially if you love these sort of point-and-click games that are really coming back into the field. On the 17th of April, we have a very strong new contender in the Souls-like indie market. Mandragora, Whispers of the Witch Tree is an upcoming 2.5D hack-and-slash dark fantasy RPG from Primal Game and Knight's Peak. From the info that we've seen already, it seems as though Mandragora has a lot in its corner. From what I can see, the combat looks very slick and springy, inspired by recent trials like Blasphemous and Salt and Sanctuary. From what we see in the trailers, the Inquisitor weaves their way through albino spiders, hulking rats, legions of animated corpses, and strange angular horrors that really do defy easy explanation. Not only that, but we see them mixing up spellcasting and swordplay, slinging fire and steel alternately, while backed up by a skill tree that's downright sprawling. Mandragora Whispers of the Witch Tree will be out on the Xbox Series X and S consoles on the 17th of April, and I cannot wait to dive into this dark fantasy nightmare. Mark your calendars this April as Tempopo finally launches on the 17th for the Xbox Series X and S consoles and Xbox One consoles, and day one onto Xbox Game Pass. From the award-winning team behind the recent gem known as Unpacking comes Tempopo. It's a whimsical puzzle adventure game that brings music and nature together in a very breathtaking way. In this one though, you'll be playing as Hannah, guiding charming Tempopo creatures through intricate floating sky island puzzles where every move creates a musical ripple in the environment. But the magic doesn't just stop at the puzzles though. Back at home, you can cultivate a lush garden filled with rescued flowers, each unlocking new melodies and really allowing you to compose your own songs. Drawing inspiration from vibrant 90s aesthetics, Tempopo blends stunning 3D visuals with very innovative rhythm-based mechanics. If you love games that feel as good as they sound, this one is a must play, especially if you want to cater to a younger type of audience. For long-time JRPG fans, this is a very huge game coming to us this week. Lunar Silver Star Story Complete and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete are finally making their way to Xbox consoles in the Lunar Remastered collection this week. These two cult classics are returning with upgraded visuals, refined audio, and a host of quality of life improvements that bring the original magic into 2025 without losing that original charm. The first game will follow Alex, a young adventurer dreaming of becoming a Dragon Master, while the sequel actually takes place 1,000 years later, with Hero on a journey to uncover the secrets of the goddess Athena. Both titles feature heartfelt stories, turn-based combat, and memorable characters, now playable on the Xbox One and the Series X and S consoles for the very first time. With support for multiple languages and their first console release in decades, this is a must-play for RPG lovers and nostalgia seekers alike when it comes out on the 18th of April. What game are you looking forward to this week? I'm keen to hear if any of these are on your radar, or what games you're looking forward to on Xbox for this year. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Xbox content like this every single day. Whilst here though, check out the video on screen now, as I covered the massive Xbox update this week. I covered everything from the new games announced, Xbox handheld news, and so much more.